Hey guys, Alex Fedotoff here, and today we have Sami. So Sami is our client in e-commerce skilling secrets program, and amazing guy, very knowledgeable, and he'll share today how he does Google Ads. He does some good numbers. You said you've done like 12K a day consistently. You're doing like 7.5K a day with Google, with Pinterest. Thank you for joining me. Looking forward to
Yeah, for sure, man. It's great to be on again. Great to speak with you again as well.
So yeah, how did you start with e-commerce? Pretty young, right?
Yeah, so I just turned 22 right now. I think I was about 20 years old when I started doing e-com. Basically, how it started in the beginning was I got laid off of my job in, I think, November 2019, and I was working at a place called Sandia Labs, basically like a government agent, or it's like a government business or something. Like I guess they make a lot of the military stuff and stuff like that in the United States. So I was working there as an administrative assistant, got laid off. And I remember thinking like crap, what am I going to do? I was still going to school. I think I have maybe $10,000 to my name. So like a decent amount, but like nothing crazy. And so I knew like I could only survive with like 6 to 8 months with like that amount of money. So I was trying to look into, basically I was applying at jobs. I was looking into a lot of side hustles, and I came across like e-commerce through like someone on YouTube named like Bayaheza, and he makes like very beginner friendly content. So it was very easy to understand, and that basically piqued my interest. And from there, I started just learning about ecom. I'd say from about December 2019 to March 2020, it was just pure like learning phase. Like I would watch these videos, I would take all the points I didn't understand, like all these micro topics, like, fulfillment, advertising, all that stuff that he's talking about. And I would go look into those. And then I would watch like a Facebook ad strategy video. I'd look at everything I didn't understand, whether it was like interest, lookalikes, retargeting, all that stuff. I would just dive in and research it. So for like 3 months, I was just completely researching before I even touched a single thing. Basically, around the time March 2020, I was like wondering like, okay, so I want to start a store. Like, what am I going to sell? And so I was thinking
March 2020, like right before like when COVID hit.
yeah, basically is right when COVID hit. So I opened my store March 3rd, actually. And I remember like February 22nd, I was thinking of products, and I was talking to my friend, and he was like, well, like, of course, like masks and all that stuff are going to sell. So like, that was actually my first product, was selling masks. And it's actually kind of stupid. Like at the time, all these platforms are banning masks. You couldn't buy them anywhere. You couldn't buy them on Amazon, eBay. I think you can only find them on like Etsy, and they were like $40 for like a 2-pack. So I was like, well, this is the perfect product. Like there's a huge demand and there's like no supply. So like I was just trying to figure out like, how can I find a supplier for this? And like luckily I found a supplier that had a lot of these in stock. They're shipping from China still, but I think they had some good shipping lines where it was like 7 to 15 day shipping. And so I launched a store. I like for like 6 hours, I just set up the whole website. I connected everything. I had the supplier. I basically had that supplier get on AliExpress and make some listings so I could sell his products. And then basically that was my first store ever selling these masks. And I was actually doing like organic traffic methods back then. Like I didn't even know how to run Facebook ads or anything. So I was doing this weird kind of method where I had like a bot on Facebook. It was actually pretty strategic. Like looking back, it was kind of a crazy method I was doing. I'd basically follow ABC, CNN, all these pages, and I would make like, I had like 5 Facebook accounts. Each one had like 10 pages, and each page was like made after to look like a person. And so I was basically pretending to be like all these different people. And I had in my notes, like, okay, I have the CBS notes of like the comment I'm going to post. I have the ABC notes, because they're all different political viewpoints. So like different kind of posts would get top comment. And so basically what I was doing is, yeah, because I actually noticed, because I seen on ABC, someone had posted something like, oh, I got my masks here. And it was like top comment, and they like had some political view.
So that inspired you, right?
Yeah, and then I saw that, and I saw the link at the bottom, and I saw this guy got 300 likes, and I was like, holy shit, like he got 300 likes. I know he's getting at least like 1,000 clicks on his website from that. And so then that was basically the strategy, like emulating, trying to get the top comment on all these news posts every time they post, like all day long. So it would be posting at 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So I was following ABC in every city. I had like at least 100 pages that I was following that I would get a notification when they post. I'd go post like the top comment I had in my notes for each one. And then like it was basically like kind of like a copy where I'd be like, hey, you know, like, oh, this virus is spreading. Everyone's saying they can't find masks. Like, if you guys want to find, or like, you guys could use this website. I got some masks here, and they shipped them in like 3 weeks or something like that. Basically, I would play on whatever the top comments regularly were on those and, you know, kind of customize it to that. And then eventually I had a developer, I paid him like $600 to develop a bot that does it for me. So like it would read the keywords in the post. It would automatically see if it was CBS and it would post the top comment for that one that, you know, from last week, whatever got top comment.
Wow,
And
this is so crazy shit, man. I didn't know this.
Yeah, it was weird. And it's crazy. I formed this completely myself. Like, it was just kind of going on the fly. But from doing that, like, it got 150,000 or 200,000 visitors in like 45 days. So like, I did 135K with that store, my first ever store, and it was like 65% margins.
$135,000 just with this stuff was kind of like,
yeah,
was holy fuck.
Yeah. And like, this is just like back then, I started talking to people and they were telling me like, yo, this isn't the way you're supposed to run ads. Like, this is black hat marketing. Like, you know, you could make money with this, but it's nothing sustainable. You can't build a business off this. Like, talking to some higher level people. Now looking back.
But you just made yourself like what, like 100 G's? Like, how much in profit you made?
I think profit was like 80,000 or something like that. And within like 45 days, 80,000 profit as someone who's never done ecom before. Like, I'm talking, I wasn't retargeting. I didn't have email set up. I had no SMS bump. Like, I was so idiot, like such an idiot, like with how I done it.
Wow, this is awesome. So I mean, but now, like, I think, you know, I think that could be replicated like today. I mean, maybe like not about the mass, but about something else, right?
Yeah.
So how comment would look like what would be in that comment, like to get that like top spot? Like what would they?
Okay. So like basically what it would go like is I would list out, they would post every day, like about 8 times each. And there's like hundreds I'm following, but like Fox and, you know, ABC, completely different viewpoints. You know, one of them, they're against masks. They hate them. They think they're stupid. They think you're a sheep if you wear them. One, they fully believe by them. Like, they think everyone needs to be wearing them. So like the comment had to be tailored to each viewpoint. So like for the ABC one, I know it would be something like, for example, some posts would be like about how many people are dying. Some would be about like different ways to prevent it. So we'd have to copyright different stuff based off that. And like, so I was good at writing beforehand. So I guess that helped me a little bit, but I would kind of write it like this. I would start with like, I'd basically copy the top comment completely of what had got top comment the day before. And then I'd see, how can I work my website into this? And I'd see like the first 3 sentences, completely copy it, whatever the top comment is, and then work that into basically okay, like, yeah, if you guys, like, I think everyone should wear masks, you know, like, just why not? I noticed you can't find them on eBay, Amazon, or anything. Like, if you guys need a website, here's this website. It was like VI Gear or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I got my stuff in 3 weeks. I could vouch for them. And like, yeah, everyone stay blessed, stay safe, like stuff like that. And I would basically just copy the first few sentences of the top comment. And I was doing this at such a high scale, though, especially when I got the bot. I actually had to shut this website down on April 2nd because I think I did like 7,500 in a day, and I couldn't even handle that amount of orders because like my payouts were taking, I think I had like a 14-day payout hold. So like, and like, meanwhile, I only have $10,000 to my name, right? So I have $10,000. That's all I have. I have nothing else. I don't even know how to take out a loan at this time or nothing. I'm down to like $800 because I haven't even got a payout yet, even though it says I made like 50K revenue so far. And like, I remember I had to borrow money from my mom because I literally had to pay rent the next day. And I was about to get another job just so I could, you know, freaking make some money so I could survive this payout thing. And yeah, that's all going on. So it's like so much craziness at once. But like, basically, I would do those comments and I was posting them every day. I would literally wake up at 6 a.m., post them. Then I'd go to sleep. I'd wake up at 7 a.m., post them. And I would do that. And it was so unhealthy because I was sleeping for like 4 hours a day. Like, I was just working like straight 16 hours.
You were doing that like manually before you got the bot, right? Or...
Yeah. And so I got the bot it took about a month to make. So I didn't actually get the bot until like early April. Like, I think it was like April 1st or 2nd, like right when I shut down the store. I think a couple days after I started using the bot, I had to shut it down. And the bot was working really well. Like, it would just basically...
So bot has increased that like efficiency a lot, right? Like with like posting, you didn't have to like wake up, like it was posting like all automatically?
Yeah, I think I was still so hungry that I was posting on another account while the bot was going. But like yeah, the bot would basically go and it would analyze the keyword in the headline. It would determine like which kind of post it is. And it would look at like, you know, the name of the page, like CBS, ABC. And then it would pull from like my notes, a certain paragraph, and it would just plug it in and it would post it. And then it would also like its own comment like 20 times with the other pages. So like it was pretty like comprehensive. And it was basically so like the psychology behind it. I think it's just the social proof helped it so much because, you know, when you run an ad, you're telling people buy my product. They know you're making money. I feel like people trust it more when it's like another human telling them like, oh, buy this product. Like I bought it. I could vouch for them. There's not like that. Like I feel like people just hate being sold to. So that's why it works so well. But it was just getting so many visitors. Like my page wasn't optimized for conversions very well. It was like very basic, no AI DCA implemented. It was like super basic stuff. And yeah, that did about $135,000 in like 45 days. And then basically I had to shut the store down because I think it hit like 7.5 thousand. I couldn't handle that amount of orders and volume. And like the payout situation was like about to make me go broke. So I had to I basically shut the store off and like put a password protection, like, and I said like, oh, we're shipping out all the orders. Everything's fine. We just can't handle any more volume right now. And then from there, like the 2 weeks after that, I finally got my payout. I was handling a ton of chargebacks and stuff. And then, yeah, that's how that first store went. And then I launched it again on like BigCommerce because I think Shopify banned me for selling masks. They're like, oh, you can't sell those. It's prohibited. And so they literally shut my store down. Like I didn't understand that they had complete control over your store. They could just turn your business off.
Oh yeah.
Like
any day, anytime, any moment, for sure.
At that point, that's when I decided, okay, like this made a lot of money and I know I can do it again. And like I know, and COVID was of course still going. So like I could have kept doing it. But I was like, I don't see this making me money long term. And I don't see this, you know, making me a successful business. So I was like, I need to do everything I can to like learn paid advertising. Like that was basically my main goal from there. And so, yeah, but from that first store, it gave me a ton of like learning experience. It taught me about like how you can't scale too fast. You're going to get chargebacks. You're going to have payment processor issues. Also like taught me a lot about shipping, about like handling customer emails. Like meanwhile, I'm handling all the customer emails. I don't even have a VA. Like I didn't even have processes or templates. Like, so it's so easy to like, there's apps that will just automatically send emails based off the headline. Like I could have easily implemented something like that in an hour. It would have saved me days of work. But like, I just didn't know about like the level of operations you need to have to run the business back then. So it taught me like all of that stuff really well. I understood how to like maintain the store, how to like treat the customers better, like all that stuff. And then from there, I needed to learn like paid ads. And so I started with Facebook and like I was basically, and while this is happening, I am testing paid ads like on Facebook. They're just not very profitable. Like I had no clue what I was doing. Like I would just launch a campaign. Like I had no strategy to it. I didn't know anything about like how you're supposed to test and scale. And so I was playing with Facebook. And then a couple months later, I launched my first product with just paid advertising. I think it was like a shower head. And I think that one got like 20 sales in like 3 days. So like I had made Facebook work a little bit and it was profitable. It was like barely break even. So I shut the store off and that kind of taught me like, okay, this is how you're supposed to test stuff. This is how you're supposed to do interest testing and all this stuff. And at that point, I'm still not doing retargeting, SMS, any of like the basics that you need to do to just squeeze the profit out. Like looking back, that store easily could have been scaled up and it easily would have been very profitable if I just did like a couple extra steps. From that point, it was basically like I churned out like 5 different stores, 5 different products. I think I built out like a whole store for each product before I even tested the ideas. And like I was still kind of doing stuff backwards a little bit. But eventually I started kind of understanding like paid ads a bit more, but still hadn't done anything to make like a good amount of money with them. And so the first time I actually made money with like paid ads, like decent bit was, I think it was about August. I launched a store selling like thermometer systems. It was basically like a thermometer on a stand that you could put in your front of your business or something. So like they didn't have to scan people's temperature.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Hey guys, people have been asking me how we scale to multiple six figures or even seven figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook. And we have a very sophisticated solution for this that I want to share with you, but it's just like too valuable to give away for free. So if you guys want this solution, just book a call with one of my team members and we'll show you exactly what it is and how it works, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you and for your business. So just book a call with my team member. We'll share it with you so you can scale your business to multiple six figures or even seven figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, without having inconsistency, and with high profitability. So just book a call with my team and I'll see you there.
I'm still using like COVID to like basically sell stuff. Like I'll go into something about that later, about how it's like I need to get away from these COVID products and like validate that I can actually do this with a normal product. Actually selling business to business a lot. So I was doing different stuff like cold calling that closed a few deals of like, you know, $5,000 to $10,000. And then I was also running ads on
$5,000 to $10,000. How many thermometers would you sell them?
Well, I would sell them like 10 or 15, and I was selling them at like a price point of like, I think I was selling them for like $400, and they only costed $60. So like insane margins with that product.
When is like 10 thermometers?
That's what it would be like places like police stations. Like I remember one was like police station in some big city, and I guess they just need them, and they have protocols where they need them in each room and stuff. So like eventually I actually made like a pre-sale page, which was like a compliance page, like saying, oh, are you compliant with like the new regulations? And I use the regulations to sell them too. And then like so like I was doing absolutely everything to sell these, man. But like I was getting very creative. I was very creative at the start. Now I'm boring and I just do it the normal way. But back then, yeah, like I'm selling these thermometers and it's a really high price point. I started also using pre-sale pages where I'm like preaching the tax benefit, like, oh, it's fully write it off. It's just going to protect like your employees. Like, what's the price you'll pay to protect your employees? Stuff like that. It's actually really aggressive. Yeah. Looking back, like,
so those type of pre-sales got approved? Those pre-sales got approved? Like,
yeah. So, well, actually, yeah, it did for about a couple of weeks. The Facebook account got banned after like 3 weeks, I think. So it didn't really actually work out that well at Facebook, but on Google, it was still working out well. So I was targeting a bunch of keywords on Google. That was my first store where I learned a lot about Google ads. I was just targeting all these keywords like workplace thermometer systems, all these different things like that. I didn't do shopping campaigns. It was just search ads pretty much. And then that store went on to do about, I think it was something like 80 to 100,000 in about a month or so. And from that one, it also had pretty high margins. That one was also about 55, 60% margins. Nice. So pulled in a decent amount of profit from that. And then from there, I basically was like, okay, I've made Google work a decent bit. Like I've tested the waters of Facebook, but still at this point, I've only done like 20, 30,000 revenue through it total, besides the whole marketing scheme thing. And then at that point, I was like, okay, I really want to learn Facebook ads. And that's actually when I started watching your videos. Was I think the first video I watched, it was like 120,000 in like 30 days with Facebook. And like that blew my mind back then, like that you could do those type of numbers with just Facebook. And then there's bigger ones too, like where you're doing like crazy numbers, like 600K in like 2 months and stuff. And that stuff blew me away because I hadn't seen this high level content from anybody on YouTube. Like it's like just a lot of lower level stuff. And the way you explained it, like had made it seem so attainable that I was like, crap, like I need to get on this mentorship. I need to like basically get in contact with these people because I heard you in your videos talking about like the community, all these successful people. And like in the mentorship, like actually I've been in a few now, and this is the one where there's the most high level like people. I don't think I've ever seen it's more 7-figure, you know, entrepreneurs in one group. I think there's more than like 300 in the group alone. So it's like, that really inspired me to join the mentorship and just surround myself with like those like-minded people. And actually looking back, just like that was probably the biggest thing for me that helped me learn stuff in general, was just connecting with people that are just slightly above me. Like, cause you know, when you're doing about 100K a month or something, and you try to talk to someone doing like 3 million a month, there's this big kind of drop off, you know, where this stuff's kind of not applicable. Like I'm worried about maintaining scale past 10K a day, where they're worried more about, you know, bigger stuff. Like how are we going to exit this in 2 years for, you know, 80 million or whatever. So like, you know, there's kind of I feel like that really helped, just connecting with people that are just slightly above me or even at the same level as me. And then, but yeah, going back to what we were saying, like at this time, I think I joined the mentorship in November. And then I was getting trained by a few guys on the team, like some of the coaches. And that really taught me like analysis of everything. Beforehand, that's what I was lacking. I couldn't look at my stuff from like a bird's eye view and analyze what was going wrong and what I needed to fix. And also I had no clue of analyzing like, is this creative good? Is the landing page good? Is the product good? Like all that stuff got taught to me probably in about a month of just, talking with the coaches a lot. And I think it does come down to like how much you want to learn though, because some people might not even get on the calls. Some people might take full advantage of it. So like, but doing that taught me a lot. And then I think I launched a store selling like weighted blankets or something in December. And that one didn't do crazy numbers. It only did about 40,000 in about a month or two. But like that was my first Facebook ad store where I really learned everything. I was doing stuff the proper way. And I started doing retargeting, SMS, email, and all that stuff. And like I actually was a lot more satisfied with that than the other, businesses I had done before, because this one actually was like legit and I wasn't doing anything sketchy to get traffic or anything like that. And so after that, I continued doing what I was doing and continued testing products. I laid out like a system, like we're gonna only, product research this way. You're gonna find this many products per week and we're going to test a certain amount per week. And then as soon as I started getting those processes and systems in place, like stuff started going way better, like had more winners basically than I could even like test. And then from there, I was like really learning out like a lot of different testing, scaling strategies and stuff. And yeah, that's still kind of where I'm at now. That's where I've been doing for the past, I would say like 6 months, just focused on like scaling and stuff. And yeah, that's where I'm at about right now. And in May, or in about April, I came across like a fitness product and basically started selling that one. And that's done about 230,000 since then. Well, from about May 3rd to like about July 20th, I think it did like about, like 220,000 or 230,000.
You mentioned, is that the product you got reached out from like Dick's Sporting Goods?
Yeah. So they actually found me from Pinterest. So I guess one of their procurement officers or something was on Pinterest and they just had came across my product. And then since I'm also on Google, I had like a shopping listing where if you search up the product, I'm going to show up first in Google in front of everybody else. And I think I took up the whole shopping landscape. So like, how there's like 5 different placements on shopping, like it will show 5 different ads. I had duplicated the product 5 times and made bundles in different variants. So I basically took up the entire shopping landscape. You search up the product, like it's my 5 shopping ads, then it's my SCAGs I'm running, like the text ads. So it was like my product was #1 on everything on Google. So she thought that we were a real brand. And so she reached out. She was like, yeah, I searched you on Google. We seen you're the only real brand selling this product and the rest are just like Amazon resellers. And I just went with it. I was like, yeah. And then basically right then, like got custom packaging and a 3PL and everything. And then, yeah, right now we're working on a deal with them. They're going to test our product in some of their stores, like I think 200 or 300 stores. And then after that, they'll purchase and then kind of be on like a contract basis. I've actually scaled this store back a little bit just because of that. I'm focused on it a little bit. And also waiting for like a lot of our product to get to the US. It's supposed to arrive like next week. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. We just paused the store basically.
That's awesome, man. So you mentioned that, like here as well, like you figure out how to exploit the Google shopping, right?
Yeah.
You have to have like different listings. So is Google shopping your main? I'll share my screen, right? Like, so there's like, so this is Google shopping, correct?
Yeah.
And this is Google like search these.
Yeah, so the search ads will basically be the first things you could click. Organic results will show under the paid search ads. That's like Google Shopping. Basically, I actually run both. So I run the search ads and the shopping. I always test with like the search ads because they'll start delivering really fast. Like if you launch a search ad on a keyword that's getting like 100,000 searches a month, it will instantly get impressions that same day. Whereas if you do the same with shopping ad, it might not get impressions for like a week or two. Because Google basically, when you launch a shopping ad, it starts way in the back of everyone. If there's 90 ads, you're going to start way in the back and impressions come really slow. And then you start ranking higher and higher as they come. But on search, if your search listing is optimized and like, targeting that exact keyword, then you'll rank first, like automatically. So like, Yeah, I was doing about, I would say it's about half and half. Even to this day, I still do about half search, half shopping. But yeah, with the shopping listings, I had a strategy where I basically duplicate the products about like 5 times. I make different bundles.
I've heard
So
it's done by manually uploading your catalog, right? Just duplicating it in catalog, right? Is that the way you do it? Like,
I think what I did was, well, I have this app like it's like called Google, Feed for Google Shopping or something like that. But I basically just I have two versions of my product, like the lower end version that's cheaper, it's only like $40, and the higher end version it's like $70 or so. And then I basically duplicated each 3 times. I had a 1 pack, 2 pack, and 3 pack for each. So total 6 listings. I think I just duplicated them in Shopee or Shopify, and then they showed up in my feed app, and I basically went in and optimized each title and everything, and gave each a different image. The benefit of that is you get more placements on shopping, and you could target I mean, you're competing against yourself, but it doesn't matter because you're pushing out the rest of the competition pretty much. And if you look up like Smile teeth whitening, I'm pretty sure they do the same thing. Or like Snow teeth whitening, they'll have basically duplicated listings with, one is like a celebrity lifestyle image wearing the product, one is like a product image. They're basically hitting all those different images that might rank and beating out all the competition on Google. But with that, like with, I would say with like the shopping listings, what matters the most is really just your title, your description, and your image. I would say what holds the most weight is the image. So like what I tend to do, like if you just wanted to go launch a shopping campaign and get really good results, like right now, like simplest thing to do would be go in and make an optimized image. So look at the landscape of all the images for that keyword, and just see what they all have in common. And what you notice, a lot of them will just be white background. They'll all kind of look the same. Maybe it's even the same product. So the first thing I do is I go in and put a pink background and make it a lifestyle image. So it just pops out a ton. And then naturally the click-through rate will get higher. And then I'll also put my price just slightly lower than everyone else's just to start. And then I would basically copy the first listing in shopping's like title. I'd copy it completely, change out a couple keywords because they have a listing that like that title is optimized to rank first. And then I would also go in and see what their description is for like their product. I'd look in the description, I'd see like what keywords they're plugging in a lot, because a lot of them are doing something called like keyword cramming, where, you know, they'll take their top 3 keywords and they'll put them in their page like repeatedly a ton of times. So then Google reads the page and sees, oh, this is super relevant to what people are searching. And then all that stuff kind of plays a role in Google shopping. And then you'll basically rank higher over time. Like it will look at how, like the click-through rate, like how long someone's on your page, and all that factors into it. But yeah, that was basically my strategy. Like or even to this day, like I still do 50% shopping, about 50% SCAGs, and SCAGs are just single keyword ad groups, like search ads.
Wow, man, this is awesome stuff. This is awesome. I'm reviewing right now, and it's, yeah, what you said is true. Like the having this like different images, it's so, when people are looking through these, right? Like it's so different. Like
Yeah, right. Like they have Mayweather and like all these different people. It's like they're trying to basically appeal to like different type of people that might click a different ad. And like just having all these listings, I'm not even sure, that might even be like I don't think you can have the same SKU duplicated, but I think you could just duplicate it, make a different SKU, and make it seem like it's another product, and nothing will get banned.
Wow. So where majority of your sales are coming from shopping or from search?
I actually get more from search, but I think it's just because I have a really high budget on the search. Like I'm spending like 600 a day on the search ads, about 400 on shopping, and they both got pretty good ROAS, like around a 4 to a 5 on any given day. So
4 to 5 return on ad spend.
Yeah. And so my margins on my product aren't even great, but it's just like so profitable with the ads that it's still like, you know, getting 30 to 35.
Yeah, we talked about it. Like, yeah, your margin is not ideal.
Yeah, definitely. So like, because of that, like I've been thinking like, damn, if I had a product with good margins, like I'd be making like close to, you know, 45% right now margins. So like, that's been another thing I've been testing a lot lately too. Just, you know, I actually recently like started following like a testing strategy where I have like different phases for the testing, where it's just like kind of plug and play. Like we're looking for specific things, like basically kind of like a shotgun approach, testing more products and just using budget and not really like, you know, digging into each product so much. trying to validate it every way possible with like Google Trends, AliExpress, and all this stuff. Been testing a lot lately and just trying to find more products. But because like with Google, like it's once you get something up and running, it's really like you don't have to do much after that. Like you kind of have to analyze stuff on a weekly basis, but it's not a ton of maintenance work. It will kind of be self-sufficient after you launch something, especially if it starts performing.
Wow, this is so impressive. So for search, what's working for you? Do you have any? I mean, you have hacks for everything. Just tell me like what hacks you have for
Yeah.
search?
So with the search, like I follow this strategy. It's called like SCAGs. If you search on YouTube, there's a ton of guys with videos on it. And yeah, SCAGs is basically single keyword ad groups. So I'll target one. So what a lot of people do in Google is they'll go plug in like 30 keywords for one ad group. So that same ad will show to all those keywords. Now you could do it like that as kind of the lazy way, or I mean, that's probably the normal way. But the way I do it is I target only one keyword per ad group. So I make a whole ad tailored to that one keyword. So for example, yeah, like if we're talking like teeth whitening, I'll have one ad specific for teeth whitening. If there's one like teeth whitening at home, I'll have one for that. And then doing that, you could make like these hyper relevant ads where you're just going to rank above everybody, like right from the get-go. So like what the most important thing for SCAGs is like, say my keyword is like teeth whitening, which is probably pretty broad. I probably wouldn't go for something like that at the start, but the first thing I'd put in the ad is just teeth whitening, the exact word. And then the second phrase would be like #1 teeth whitening system, something that like shows we're the best, but it still has that same keyword. And then the third headline would be something like a call to action, like get your, like it doesn't, you don't have to put it the third time, like teeth whitening, that get your whatever for 50% off today or something like that.
Oh, I see. So that would be like in the text of your ads, correct?
Yeah, correct. So that would there it would usually give you, it will give you like 6 headlines, but you only have to put in like the first 3. But then usually I'll put in the first 3. The first 2 are just for relevance. So like the first one is just relevancy, the exact keyword. Second one is like relevancy plus a little bit of like I don't know if you call it social proof. I would just put something like #1 teeth whitening system. And then the third one is just for click-through rate. So something to increase the CTR. And then the description will be under that. Like you'll do the description. The description, I'm doing the same thing. I want to plug that same keyword in about 2 to 3 times. And then just put a lot of stuff like free shipping, whatever, $50 off today and stuff like that in the description. But that's kind of how that works. And doing that will help you rank a lot better on your search ads.
Man, this is so impressive. This is so impressive. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It's Alex Fedotoff, 3F at the end, because I share behind the scenes strategies and things we do in our 8-figure business and also in my personal life. So make sure you follow me and I'll see you there.
Yeah, and I appreciate it coming from you. I mean, to be honest, it's a lot of stuff I'm doing for, what some people call little results. Like, to be honest, the numbers I'm hitting, like, seeing a lot of people in the group, it like makes me feel like I need to step it up a notch, because it's, especially if I could just get on these other platforms and like maintain scale, like I could be doing so much better, especially with like.
For sure. And I mean, I think if you had like something higher, like applying exactly the same strategies, but just to something higher ticket with higher margin, you'd absolutely destroy it.
Yeah, that's very true. Like if I had a high ticket product, like this store would have made 3x that revenue. So it probably would have done like 600K in the past, month and a half or whatever. So like, I mean, that's very true. And that's something one of my friends has been telling me too, like you need to get into higher ticket stuff with Google. And it's very true. Like you'll see people on here selling like products that are like $600, $500, or even just like 200 or 300. And they're just killing it on Google. With Google though, it's kind of like, not so much, I mean, it is the product, but it's also like the keyword. Like, for example, something could only get 50,000 searches a month. That's not really going to make you a high amount of revenue. Like you could kind of calculate like, okay, if I have this click-through rate, this conversion rate, like how many sales is it possible to get through this keyword? So like doing that, you kind of see what's the potential. So like with like my strategy in particular, I'm only going for like products that can have a keyword that has at least like 200,000 search volume or more. So like, yeah, that's kind of my strategy with it. But like, yeah, 100%, I think higher ticket would like kill it just on the Google strategy alone.
You said you would go after, can you repeat that? Like you would go after the keywords that have how much volume per month?
I would look for products that have a keyword like applicable to it that's at least 200,000 a month. So like,
with 200,000. Okay, 200,000 searches.
Yeah. And I use a tool called, I believe it's Keywords Everywhere, that will just
Uh-huh.
show me when I'm searching, it will show me the keywords. It'll show me different relevant terms like similar to it. Those will all basically be like the bread and butter for the campaign. Like I'll find all the relevant and similar keywords and just make scags for those, test them out, see what performs. But then also there's like this kind of synergy between the shopping and the search ads. So like if something, I notice something's ranking really well on search, like we're getting really high impression share for like these keywords, then I'll take that keyword and I'll plug it into my shopping listing. So we start ranking our shopping listings on that too. And so that will basically, it's continuously optimizing the shopping listing. So that starts to perform better and better. And then, you're taking all that info that you get from the scags and just applying it to it. So like doing that, like I've actually been ranked first on Google for my product for like, I think I ranked first within a week. So I took every advertiser that was
How do you
advertising.
like, okay, so how do you know, like, okay, so let's say, because I'm not a Google guy, so I mean, like, getting into competition like this, right, and knowing like where you stand, I think is very important. So the fact that, like you said, you know that you're like number one, does Google tell you that, hey, you're ranking number one, or you're just Googling yourself and you're seeing that you're on top?
Yeah, I'll just Google all my search terms and see how we're ranking. So like even for the biggest search terms, like we're ranking number one across like all of them. And there might like Google, you're not going to rank number one for every single person because it's going to tailor it to each person. So one person might see a different person up front based on location and all this stuff. Especially if you're doing like kind of some of Google's like automatic bidding strategies, like target ROAS and stuff like that, which I'm doing. So like I'll just look at that, but like as long as I see 2 to 3 of my shopping listings up front, like I know I'm ranking first. If someone were to rank above me and I notice that they're ranking above me on all my keywords and like it's lasting more than a week or something, then I'll be like, okay, what are they doing? Why are they ranking above me? What does their title, description, image look like? How can I basically beat them? And then I'll just apply that and keep going from there. So it's like, yeah, you would just search up your keyword and you could see instantly like where you stand. And also, Google just released something called image extensions for search ads. And
Mhm.
so search ads beforehand, there was just a text, there's no image, but now you could basically put an image in there. So I did that, and some of my search ads that weren't performing before, now they're just ranked first above like our competitor that's been trying to like copy us for the past 2 months. So yes, image ads or search image extensions are really powerful for search ads too. I would always suggest using those.
Search image extensions.
Yeah.
I'm
And
thinking.
I think those recently just got rolled out like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So once again, what it does, the searching image extensions.
It basically, so like on a text ad, you'll have the headline, you'll have the description, and
Yeah.
beforehand it would just be that. There would just be text. Now there's also an image you could plug in on the right side of it. So then you could put a relevant image of your product and it will just increase the click-through rate. And then, doing that boosts you up, as long as people don't bounce from your page immediately and send bad signals to Google, like that would mean it's not relevant if they just bounce. As long as people are scrolling through the page, doing like conversion events, add to carts, checkouts, then Google's going to keep pushing you up, ranking you higher. A lot of people don't have it yet. Like it's kind of new. I think if you search Apple AirTag, like yeah, kind of like the one that says therapy ball, but that's not an ad, but they have an image right there. It would be the same thing, just on an ad. So like,
Wow. Oh, cool. Okay. Maybe Amazon was the first. Oh, actually, this one has it here.
I think it's because those are just normal posts. Those aren't ads. So those have always had images. But just recently they added it to the ads. So now the ads could have them. I think if you search up Apple AirTag, there's a couple people running search ads with the image extensions, like the new things they came out with. Wow, Apple doesn't even have them. Man, they're lacking. But they would be like right there, basically to the right. It would have just an image of whatever the product is. It would increase the click-through rate.
So
But
that looks, so pretty much the search would look pretty similar to shopping after this update.
a little bit, yeah, it would be an image there. So like, I mean, the only thing it really changes, it would increase click-through rate. So, but I mean, everything you could get with Google and do better, like it's worth doing. But like, yeah, it would basically put like, it almost looks like a shopping listing right there next to it. It just wouldn't have the price and stuff. It would just have the image. But yeah, man, it's pretty powerful stuff. With Google, I like it because there's like definite answers for stuff and you can be very analytical and like get your results through it. And I feel like with other platforms, it's been hard for me because it's hard for me to determine what makes a good creative from a bad creative and stuff like that. Whereas like, just because I haven't had a ton of experience, with that kind of stuff. So yeah, other than Google, I've been doing Pinterest ads too, and that's been performing really well. And
Nice. What are your results on Pinterest?
I think I've spent about 30 to 40,000, and that's brought in about 100K, a little more than 100K. I'm at like a 3 ROAS exactly overall on the account.
On
And
Pinterest?
yeah, and
With
so
$30 product?
yeah, so one of the products, like we have two versions. So one's 39 and then one's like, 70 or 79. Like less people buy the higher one, but a lot of people buy the cheaper one. Average order value is about $52 though, after like little upsells and stuff like that. But yeah, with Pinterest, like the strategy has just been kind of like how I run Facebook ads. I think I went in there, I just tested out like 10 interests, open targeting, like two different ads. One was like a direct response, like Facebook style ad, and then one was like a user generated content, like TikTok style ad. And what I noticed that the TikTok ads work very well on Pinterest, like the UGC kind of style ones, where it doesn't really look so much like an ad, but it just kind of blends in. And I think that's kind of like, I've talked with the Pinterest reps a lot, and they said people on Pinterest are kind of learning, discovering stuff. They're not really, while they are going there to purchase stuff too, like a lot of people have purchase intent, like they're kind of taking in information almost like how they are on YouTube. And it's not so much on Facebook where it's like impulse buys and stuff. So I feel like that's kind of why the UGC has been working well. But I've only spent like
UGC. Do you pay for it, like, or you get from customers?
Yeah, so we have a couple like from customers. Recently, I've been wanting to use, there's that one service, I can't remember the name, where you send them the product and they make some. I'm gonna use that.
The Below app?
Yeah. So I'm gonna use something like that to get more. But originally, I think the first ones I just sourced from TikTok. I found my product on TikTok, and like I found there's some videos that had went viral with it, and I just paid those people to use their content. And so then I used those as ads, and those were working really well. That's actually where most of the money has been made, through those ads. And then I think I tested total like only like 15 or so.
How was your like click-through rate on click-through rate and CPC on Pinterest?
The click-through rate for those UGC ads are like anywhere from 3 to 5% consistently. Yeah, and so cost per click is actually really cheap. Like some of my best performing audiences have like a 6 cent cost per click. And then pretty much all of them have under 15 cent cost per click.
These are very good metrics. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that's why it's still been performing even with the terrible margins on my product. But yeah, just because of that stuff. So I think, taking a better product or a better margin, or even just revamping the offer, putting in a digital product and making it something, more like an experience. I feel like that would help my margins a lot. So that's kind of what I've been working on right now. Like, revamping the offer, maybe try to make like some type of fitness challenge with it or something like that. And then, add some digital products, see what I could do. But also other than that, just testing a ton of more products on Pinterest as well.
This is awesome, man. I mean, so many, I personally took like plenty of notes.
Man, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I know I'm not doing crazy numbers or anything. It's just I've been testing out a ton of different things.
Like that bot idea. That's like
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought like, dang, I could go back to that and just do that again. But it's like I just don't want to. Like I mean, I know it could work. I actually was gonna launch a store. Like you remember back when there was a ton of protests and stuff. Like I've noticed like politics will sell something more than anything. Like it's crazy. Like people have so much hatred, they will just buy stuff purely off like politics. So like I was gonna be selling like freaking like riot gear and stuff, like protection stuff, like helmets and freaking bulletproof vests and stuff. But then I didn't do it because I didn't want to get back into that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just on pretty much Pinterest and Google. I've tested a little bit with like TikTok and Snapchat and stuff like that. But honestly, I think if I look at too many things, it's just going to scramble my brain. So I've really just been on Pinterest and Google. I really want to get back on Facebook though. Like even knowing tracking and stuff is even worse on there. Like it's still like, I feel like it would just give me so much more opportunity to do more.
Thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed our conversation, and I took a lot of notes for our Google. Yeah, we'll be expanding on Google, and thank you you so much for joining me.
Yeah, man, for sure. Thank you for everything. Thank you for creating like the best community too, because there's literally nothing like it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. When we have a conversation, when you hit like 7 figures per month?
Yeah, man, let's do it for sure. That's my next goal, and I'm trying to get there like as soon as possible. So yeah, let's do it. Once I hit 7 figures a month, I'll ping you on Skype or something.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we're in touch. You can ping me anytime, anytime you need anything.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, for sure.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Sami, thanks so much for joining me today, man. And thank you for watching. Thank you, Sami.